let's put the spotlight on Mahanagar Gas. The company was indeed an earnings candidate where the profit has seen a double-digit growth. But what is the way forward for the company? Let's try to decode all of that with Mr. Ashu Singhal, who is the managing director of Mahanagar Gas, joining us on the show. Very good morning and thank you so much for your time. And firstly, with respect to your guidance, that's the latest charter point, because you have indeed cut your volume growth guidance to high single digit from that 10 to 12% earlier due to the low CNG volumes. What is impacting the CNG volumes? Help us understand that. And is it less vehicle sales, competition from the other companies, or increasing penetration of EVs that is weighing heavy?
It's a slight variation. I mean, last year we had a growth of 12%, but that was much higher than the last year growth, which was 5.5%. So there's some adjustment in this quarter, and it's not as in the expected lines. And as you rightly mentioned, we have for this financial year, we are not targeting, but we are expecting a growth of around 9 to 10% in overall volume. So maybe Q2, Q3, and Q4 will be better. We will be taking some corrective actions. EV penetration is not high in Mumbai region, so that's not the reason. The main reason could be because of monsoon onset has been slightly earlier this year. That also impacts CNG sale. And other reasons could be that it's seasonal variation, that's all. Otherwise, we expect that maybe as we are increasing more infrastructure, the growth should pick up in next quarter or so.
Okay, so growth outlook looking good, and we're expecting an uptick in the next quarter. Mr. Singhal, morning. Let's focus on some positive news flows that we've heard recently, and that's MSRTC is evaluating adding hybrid CNG LNG buses to its fleet. Help us understand how much can this positively affect your volumes, and what's the outlook over there?
Currently, we are having around 600 buses of MSRTC in our geographies, and they have a total fleet size of 18,000. However, all the buses will not be in our geographical area. So we are in touch with them. So they are exploring both these options, a mix of CNG and LNG, as well as diesel buses will also be there, where there is a problem with respect to the availability of CNG stations. So we think they will be increased gradually to maybe around 800 to 900 buses in 5-6 months' time. So that will be an uptick on our volume side, because BEST, the growth is not to that extent. So some of it will be compensated by MSRTC buses.
Okay, Mr. Singhal, good morning. While we talk about the margins picture, it has witnessed a constant up move on a quarter-on-quarter basis, which is a positive in itself. Having said so, what has helped the increase in margin, and what will be the impact of restructuring of unified tariff zones, higher gas prices, transportation cost on margin and volumes moving ahead?
Margins have been slightly better. I mean, because there was one-off transaction this Q1, that was trade margin from OMCs. There was a long pending issue got settled, and there were some provisions which were returned back. If we take that aside, then our margins are around 9.7 rupees per EBITDA. Margins are about 9.7 rupees per SCM. So last year it was slightly more than 10 rupees. So we are in the same range. Going forward, we think the EBITDA margins will be in similar range as we have earlier given a guidance of around 8.5 to 9.5 rupees. And what was your second question? Sorry.
What is it that you will be doing? What will be the impact of restructuring of unified tariff zone at present? The higher gas price, transportation cost on margins and volumes moving ahead?
We are just waiting for the final numbers. But as far as zonal tariffs are concerned, now there will be 2 zones, and CGD entities will be necessarily in zone 1 for the priority gas. So we expect around 70-80 paise per kg will be the increase, considering the numbers which are there in the market. We are waiting for the final numbers, but around 60-70 rupees per kg CNG impact could be there. We will wait and see, and we will try to see whether we can absorb some of it or we may have to pass some of it.
Indeed, but Mr. Singhal, that will be the impact on the prices with respect to this factor. But overall, are you planning any price hikes to maintain the margins going ahead?
I think our margins are quite healthy, where it is in the same range of 8.5 to 9.5 rupees. So we don't expect price changes very frequently unless there is some trigger. Again, it also depends on what is the volume growth, what is the alternate fuel price, petrol, diesel, as well as our procurement costs. So all these play a dynamic part in the price decision. So we don't want to, we want to give stability to prices unless there is some major event which necessitate which makes us necessary to change the prices. So we expect the prices to be stable in this range because LNG prices are also getting stabilized over a period of time.
Okay, Mr. Singhal, thank you so much.